Hello everyone. So today I am going to implement this simple swimming system in this ocean. So as you can see here, when I go into the water, the character will start swimming like this, and when it turns back, it can keep walking. So, like this. Here is the blueprint. Here is the view from the below the sea level. Okay, let's see how to implement this. And this episode is sponsored by these generous patrons. Thank you very much for the support you guys are giving me. Right, let's start with the new project. I'm using Unreal 4.26 and I'm going to use third-person character template. Keep everything as default. Swimming. Let's name it code like me swim. Okay, create the new project. Right, so this is the usual third-person character we have, and we need first, in order to swim, we need ocean. So ocean or any water, not necessary to be ocean, but I want to use this new Unreal Water plugin. So let's enable it. So it's super easy to create a good looking ocean with that, but it is not like working with conventional water volumes. But yeah, let's see how to implement swimming with that option. But yeah, I don't think, yeah, let's create a new level like this. Let me delete these things, I don't need them, and I'll change the light mobility to movable so that I don't have to bake lighting. And first I'll create a landscape, keep everything as default, and paint some mountains so we can have something like an island, right? And this is very important. Change the mode back to select the landscape and enable edit layers. This is important because without this option the water bodies doesn't work properly. And type here water, you get bunch of water components. So I'm going to use water body ocean, drag and drop. See, it's very easy to implement. So here we have our water, and yeah, this is good enough for now. Let me just start playing. And yeah, and also you can see underwater we have a different post-process effect to show the underwater effect, so we don't really have to worry about anything of that sort. They are already set up. Right, now we have in the, let me open the third-person character we are using here. Here under character movement component we have different settings for swimming mode. Under now movement, under movement capabilities, we need to enable can swim. It is already enabled. Good. And where is swimming? Here, max swim speed and buoyancy. Right, so in order to enable swimming mode, first we need a way to detect that we have entered the water. So we can easily do with this physics volume. If I set up a physics volume like this, and if I set it as water volume, you can see if I go enter that, you can see the character slows down. See, now here character slows down, and once we exit that area, character starts moving normally. I don't think I can keep this visible. I'm not sure. I don't know how to keep it visible in the game level. Right. So that's because of this fluid friction and everything. But we don't have that feature with this water. So we need to implement a manual way to detect water and enable swimming mode. So for that, how can we do it? We can of course enable set up a begin overlap mode and to check if we are overlapping with the ocean, but that way it doesn't look very clean, because character can be overlapping with many things. So let me delete this water body. Now let's create a new blueprint, BP, right, and I'm gonna create a blueprint extended from this water body ocean. This way I'll call it BP ocean. And right, if I open this, you can see everything is, wait, here in this water body we can see we don't have the default values. We have some values here, but here we don't. Everything is empty or not set to anything. So I'll go here and let's copy these settings. Copy curve settings into the curve settings, and the water height map settings into the water height map settings, and layer weight settings, zero map elements, effects, landscape. Oh, these are usual. And wave source, I'll copy that as well. This, and materials are also not set, so I'll copy this material. Okay, and the next material. Okay, what about two other options? They are as default. All right, now compile and save. And can I delete this? Right, and drag and drop this BP ocean. Okay, cool. Now we have the ocean. Let's say, okay, it works as the previous one, nothing different. Great. Now here in the actor begin overlap, let's do a print just to, oh wait, print. I just need to see if that character overlapping event happens or not. So if that event is happening, then we should be able to see, yeah, third person character is printed there. Okay, and we need another object, actor and overlap. I'll add a print And let's change this like this. Append entered water character name, and similarly do another append as exit water and the other actor name who exit the water. So as I entered water third person character, when I leave exit water third person character. Awesome. Now in the third person character, let's implement a way to set that character has entered the water. So first I'll save this level. Let's call it island. And under blueprint I'll add a new blueprint interface, PPI swimming and enter water, exit water. Right, now in the third person character I'll implement that interface, PPI swimming, and here I'll implement enter water event and exit water event. Okay, then in this BP Ocean blueprint, on the other actor we can call enter water on the other actor, and on the exit we can call exit water on the other actor. So this will trigger these two events on the character. Here I'll add another variable in water and set in water to true here and in order to false here. Right, but if I enable the swimming mode once the character enter the water, that wouldn't be realistic because the character does not have enough depth yet. So character should at least have should be submerged in the water until maybe about this much height, this much depth in the water in order to start swimming. So how can we do it? When this happens, when the character enters the water, let's have another float variable. Let's call it water z. So this means the z value of the location of the character when it enters this water volume, when it enters the ocean. So get actor location split and save z here. It's called water z. Right, and now in the event tick, let's have a branch if we are in water, and we need to basically compare get actor location and the current Z location of the actor and the water Z level of the Z level of the water plane. At the moment the character enters the water plane. So if the difference between this one, which one should be higher? Okay, this one. If this one minus the current Z level is larger than the half height of the capsule, if this is true, let me collapse this part as swimming. And I'll add the sequence here and connect this way, and for the output I'll connect right after this part, so that this part will be executed independent from whatever going on here. So if this is true, I'll add a do once node, because we don't need the character to change the movement mode to swimming continuously. Here I'll set we need to set manually the character is in a water volume. Get physics volume and set water volume to true, like this, and set movement mode to swimming. Right, let's play. Now see, now character is floating on the water. That's because the movement mode is set to swimming. And yeah, actually this character does not care about this, does not take into account these waves. That's why it looks like sometimes character moves above. Right, and now okay, wait, one more thing. Now when the character exits the water, we should go back to normal walking mode, and we have to do that also manually. So here we set in water to false. So when that happens, in water false means this way, this branch path. So we should go out of the water if the character, no, regardless of whether we are in water or out water, if the character is like basically like into the knee level, if the character is out of the water, we should make the character which the character should go back to the normal working mode. So we can check it in the same way. If this difference is less than, let's say, half height divided by 2, take this branch. If this is true, and if the character is already swimming, we should go back to usual walking mode. So how to do that? Just like before, let's add a do once node and we need to reset these two at some point in order to be able to go back to water again. Let's look into that in a bit. First, I'll duplicate this part and reset the water volume back to false and movement mode to walking, right? Right, and I'll reset this part here. If we go back to the land, that means we should be again able to go back to the water as well. And if this happens, we should reset this. That means we should be able to go back to yeah, this part allows us to go back to land, and this part allows us to go back to water. And I'll start this closed because first, without going into the water, we should not be able to go into the land. That's the reason. Right, now let's test this out. Right, now the character is swimming, that's why it's floating. Right, now character is in usual walking mode. Okay, the next part is we need to change the animations, of course. So for that, where's the animations here? I have some swimming animations here, these two animations. Let me import them using this mannequin skeleton. Right, these are the two animations, swimming and treading water. Okay, using these two animations, let's create a blend space. Blend space 1D as the skeleton, select mannequin. Let's call it BSP swimming. Right, now for this one, oh wait, we have speed, swimming speed in the character movement settings up to 300 as I remember. Yes, max swimming speed is 300. So I'll set the horizontal axis as speed and max value to 300. And in the beginning, I'll set this where this animation, and in here in this end, I'll set this animation. Okay, maybe we might need to speed up this a little bit. Like, let's try 3 times faster. Okay, great. And now let's open the animation blueprint of the third person character. And where do we add this? Okay, here let's add blend pose by bull, and let me break this. Pose pose, I'll promote this one as a variable swimming. Or we can, just like here, we can use is swimming. If true, now here I'll use VSP swimming as the true pose, and I can use the same speed variable that we have already used for the idle run blend space. So we need to update this is swimming. Where do we update this? Is here. It's here in the event graph. So get movement component. Do we have is swimming? Oh yeah, we have. If yes, set is swimming with that value. Let's add a comment as well. Swimming. Right. Now let's check. See, the character is swimming. And if the character moves back to the ground, it starts walking. But I think the change is too fast. Let's give like 0.5 seconds. Great. This is exactly what I wanted to do. And we don't have any extra additional advanced effects like ripples, so we don't have any sounds or anything. We will add them in future. And also, as you can see here, the character is kind of floating above when there are waves, because character is not taken into account this wave heights. Failed. As a temporary solution, we can reduce this wave height. Max amplitude. But if I set this to 20 and save, yeah, now it is reduced. Okay, now we don't have that ugly effect. Right. Anyway, I'm going to stop this episode right here. So in a future episode, we can look into diving and add in ripples as the character moves forward, and we can add like particles or whatnot. Okay, let's stop this episode right here. One more thing, shall we add some sand material to the landscape? Okay, actually it looks more like a rock rather than sand. Anyway, that's not really important for this part, as I only want to focus on the swimming part. Alright, so as always, project files will be available for the download here in the Patreon page. Link would be in the description below. And if you like to support my work, you can get the membership of Patreon Club. Thanks for watching. See you in another episode. Goodbye.